All right, welcome back, my friends, to another installment of Let's Hang Out. Do you mind if I paint? My name is Dan, and we are just about finished with this series. We're going to do some at least one big tree. Maybe we'll kind of put in a birch tree and some closer up bushy things just to kind of finish this side off here. This will be the end of this video series for this painting, which is called My First Painting. Because first we did the liquid white, then we did the sky, the water. Next one was the clouds. Then we put in the big mountain with the snowy side and the shadowy sides. Then the next video had the footy hills and the tiny little faint water lines on the far side. Then we spent a good bit of time on these closer up, more detailed looking trees. It's still all the brush doing the magic though. We don't have to detail that. The brush does that for us. And now here we are to finish this out. I always love the watery reflections over here underneath those trees. I just love those. So let's finish out real strong. I'm going right back to my dirty fan brush that we did the highlights with over here on this side, on these trees and down in the water. I've still got paint thinner in that. I've got dark color underneath, some of the green, some of the yellow. So I'm just going to pick up what's remaining there. I got some dark color in my mountain mix pile. Oh heck, we can grab some of our sap green that we hadn't touched otherwise. We'll just make these right nice and green right out of the gate here. So that is a deep green. I hope that color is visible there on the video for you. So I'm talking about a big tree. So let's make a big tree. Let's have it come right down, starting there. We'll have it come across our mountain a little bit. Just keep right on trucking. Holy Moses, is this going to be a tree right here? That's what I'm talking about. That's a tree for you if I ever saw one. Just reloading with paints. I got plenty of paint. I want to go through this tree quickly. Speed is your friend here, remember. We'll do another down slopey one. So I'm just going to touch with the corner. Start seeing what we're getting. Let it go to the right. Push with a little bit more of the brush. Go right screaming across that part of your mountain. Leave those gaps in some of your branches so you can really see through it. That'll really help with some depth feel as we're getting closer and coming across our water here. I may need to reload with paint in just a second. I'm going to see if I can make it. Let's spin over. Use the other side if I didn't already. And we're going to finish this tree off right about down here. There we go. I'm just going to cruise through that just so gently. Put in a few little doers here and there. Nothing crazy. Just mixing it up. Adds a smidge more dimension. You get a little too repetitive anywhere, you can address that. But don't go over the whole thing again. You're just going to flatten out all that detail you just zipped right in there. These, being able to see through your branches, is what sells the rest of that distance message that we're putting out there. So just let that be. Well done. Grab the big knife. Going to grab some brown, put in a tree trunk just like we did in the middle of the trees on the other side. We are just going to touch, give ever so gentle a pull, touch, move up, touch, move up, touch, move up. Big old tree, touch, move up. Maybe we'll make this one just a little bigger down here on the bottom. So I got a little bigger in the middle. There we go. That's all we got to do. So let's wipe off our knife. Go into some of our yellow and lighter green over here, just so we've got a nice highlight color. Need this to stay pretty thin, so I'm making sure to go through some of the spot where we had some paint thinner and liquid white before, because that's a thin paint now. We used a thin paint with that paint thinner in it just to get that to stick. So let's see if we're getting some of our highlight to stick. We don't need a lot of this. I just want a little bit. Remember, just vary the pressure in your hand. Go across that tree trunk that we just put in there. Lead with the corner of that fan brush and just push a little bit deeper. Grab just a whisper of paint thinner there, a little bit more yellow. I just want to thin that a bit further. And I'm going to just go back up just ever so slightly. Go across the middle of that tree and finish it off. Let it get darker down here at the bottom. There we go. Nice looking tree. We can pick up some of that dark. Let's put ourselves in some You know what? I'm going to use my big old, we'll use this, that's fine. I'm going to put in a lot of dark here at the bottom. So I'm going to grab some of my sap green. I'm using up some of my blue, picking up any of that mountain mix that was left. I just need something to make some ground for us down here. So let's just make ourselves a big, beautiful hill. So we've got some area to highlight. Oh, I just cut off some of our little beautiful reflections. That is okay. Let those things happen when they do. Bob's right. He would often say you can put this part in with a paint roller if you want to. All I'm looking for is the variation in some color and some texture. But even more than that, just gives me a little bit of a lay of the land and covers up that blue of the water. So we've got that nicely covered. Make a few areas darker if you want to. I'm going to wipe out. I'm getting a little pocket of paint thinner in there, which I don't really like, so I'm going to get rid of that. Just grab some straight sap green and go the other way with your fan brush if you want to. You can push up with it, and it will give us some cool bushy shapes. Just vary those a bit so they're not too repetitive. Push, push, push in different ways, and you get a nice grassy, rough-looking edge to come back and highlight. So we'll cut in some cool highlights there in just a few minutes. I promised you a birch tree, so let's do that. We're going to take some of that Van Dyke brown, give that a smush, pick up our little roll of paint out there on our end of our knife, and we'll just put in a birch tree. Let's just put one in. I don't want it to take over the world. Sometimes I do that with birch trees because I really like them. But I like them better in a winter painting now that I'm actually thinking about it, because I don't like putting leaves on them. I've never actually seen one, so I don't know what kind of leaves would be on it. And I didn't think to look it up on the old computer before I said so. So let's just have it go off the page. How about we do that? We'll give it a little bit of the white peely bark look. I do like that in wintertime, so we'll do that. We'll just pretend ours has it left over from wintertime. How about that? So just put that little white roll of paint on there, and then ever so gently, this is as gently as putting snow on the mountain, just give a little pull around the tree. So go with the curve. Curve around the tree just ever so slightly, and let it peel right off the side of your canvas there with that look. So that'll be good. That'll be good there. Now I'm going to grab my little script liner brush. That's the little one that looks like a pen or a pencil. I'm going to soak it real good in paint thinner. Come right over to my brown and make it watery like ink. It's running down my palette here. Twisting that brush through it. Twisting the end of the brush through it so it gets a nice point to it. And we're just going to add a few branches. Just let your hand shake. Hold the brush so that you've got it angled down. Let gravity be your friend there, because this little brush will hold quite a bit of paint. And so if you let it, it will just let lots of that run right off. And these branches will be coming from both sides of the tree. What I have seen before, these branches don't grow too far down the tree. So there we've given just the indication. That's really all we need for this painting. So let's see, what colors do we have left? What do we want to finish with? Let's do some nice highlights, maybe some grassy things. And who knows? Who knows what'll happen? So let's do this. Let's pick up on that same brush we were using before, the 1-inch brush that has all those highlight colors. You can dunk right into your liquid white. If you do it in one smooth move, you don't get color put off from your brush into your jar of liquid white, which is just kind of a cool party trick. So I'm just going to do the same thing and make similar kind of bushes. Start and then rotate my hand and let it turn. A key is leaving some dark in between the ones that you're doing here. Let the color vary. I've got a little yellow left. I'm using liquid white, going through some of that thinned out green, so there's probably some paint thinner even in it, and that's okay. As long as you're gentle with your touch here, you will still be able to get these little wonderful effects and little bushy and grassy looking things to jump right out of the end of this brush for you. And this is just one you've got to be willing to practice. If you get it the first time, consider yourself highly favored, because that just ain't normally how it is. At least that has not been my experience. These used to beat me like a drum. I got very frustrated. I kept working through that, and now I just really love them. So picking up more of that white so it mutes down this green, keeping this paint very, very thin. And maybe all of this isn't bushes. I don't know, maybe it is. We'll just kind of space a few things out and decide here in a second. We'll just have them grow right off the bottom of our page there. Why not? Cool. What if, let's see if we brighten that a little further. So I'm grabbing some of my titanium white that's left. Going to the pile that used to be my yellow. Don't have much of that left. Now let's just turn the brush sideways. Maybe we're just going to put in a few little rows of kind of grassy things and letting the lay of the land change a little bit and kind of be like these hills rolling down towards the water. That seems kind of cool in my head. Maybe these little rows or baby bushes that haven't grown up yet. I don't know. Just make up all kinds of little stories and fun things. I see some more good areas to scratch in, some twigs and little branchy things. Little twigs and branchy things just here and there. Don't overdo this. It's easy to get carried away. If you got a little brown left over, just grab a little. Maybe you've got a little spot here where just a little dead stick's kind of hanging out. Returning to nature here shortly. It's going to fall over into this water pretty soon, probably. If you just let these things break the different heights that you have, like going across that water ripple, may not seem like a big deal now, but boy, when this thing dries, and then you're looking at that, that will just look really cool. Maybe there's another little one that's hanging out here. And if these kind of things aren't in your world, don't put them in your world. You don't have to copy mine. I just want to help you learn how to do some of these things that I've noticed and been taught. Because I can assure you, you can learn how to do this. Now let's just put something in around their little footsies. I'm still holding this green brush. Maybe we'll put in a few... that doesn't have enough contrast to it, so we can't see those too well. Let's just push in a little grassy thing. Just sets his foots down in our scene. So I think we're just about done. What if we sign this one and call it done? That'll put a wrap on our video series for my first painting. I keep a little dot of red, bright red, on my palette, just like Bob would sign his in. I never really thought to do it in any other color. I guess I'm just dumb enough to follow good direction like that. I would say Bob's a pretty good one to follow. You can sign with any color that you like or any color that you have extra on your palette. I sign mine with just my initials. My penmanship is quite poor with a written document. And I don't write well with a paintbrush, so I figured out how to do my D and have a W holding it up from underneath. So there's your finished painting. Let me move the camera just a bit. Try and give you a straight on, real clear, finished view of what we got going on there. Made myself quite a mess to clean up here in just a second. That's part of the fun. And let's just pull you over here. Straight on. Well, as straight on as I can make it for some reason. How about that? I guess I got a little angle here. There you go. And let's let this come down. So I really hope this series has been helpful. We're going to do this broken into pieces, and I will absolutely be speeding up these sections for you because I want these training sections to be short enough that you'll watch them over and over and over again. If you've got just a scrap piece of cardboard, one fan brush or a knife, and one tube of paint, you don't even have to pull them all out and do a full painting just to practice. If you've got an acrylic palette, a big one like I was using in this video, or if you've got a smaller one, man, when you can start making these brushes work for you and perform what you're looking to have them do in the finished product on a piece of cardboard or just practicing on an acrylic palette, you've got it. So keep practicing. Let us help with questions. Shoot us an email, shoot us a text, give us a call, drop comments on these videos. We will be reviewing those and help in any way that we can. Very exciting that the Chelsea workshop's going to open soon, so we'll have some classes there. There are going to be some exceptional artists there teaching all kinds of different art styles, techniques, and mediums, so definitely check that out. We'll be putting more info up on the website as well. But thanks for checking out the video. Hope this helped you. Bye.